Meal kits often market themselves as an easy meal prep solution, but often disappoint with complicated, overlong recipes that aren't worth the effort. Fortunately, Home Chef knows that struggle and delivers fresh, delicious meal kits that respect your time. You guys, lately, I have been so freaking busy recording all of these episodes, all of these extra episodes. And when it comes to dinner time, I am wiped out and I do not have 45 minutes to an hour to cook something for myself or for anybody else. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef number one in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. This is what I'm talking about. Easy recipes. So, whether you prefer the classic meal kits with the pre portioned ingredients, which I like, but lately they've also got these quick 30-minute recipes, which is saving my life. They also have oven ready options, which are another lifesaver. They have microwave meals, or they have a dedicated family menu that is, if you've got little kids, sometimes you need to get something different. Home Chef has everything you and your family needs for those hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, we love this, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's a lot of money. And when meal planning ends up being on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5-ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using 5 fresh pre-portioned ingredients. Y'all, you can get in the kitchen, you can pull it out of the fridge, you can prep it in 10 minutes, pop it in the oven, and you've got dinner on the table and everybody's happy, okay? For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/pinkshade. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It is Monday. It's Mugshot Monday. I'm here with my girl, Keisha. We got a brand new episode, Love After Lockup. Yeah, you guys, let me tell you something. I'm running hither and fro like a crazy person and completely forgot we were recording. So just t-shirt, threw in some mascara, boom, here I am.
And look at her. She's ready.
I'm ready. I got my notes. I did my notes like Thursday, maybe. I'm ready to go. So tonight, so when you're hearing this, it'll be Monday. Oh my gosh, when you hear this on Monday, I'll already be in Chicago for podcast movement and big thing there. So if you're in Chicago, Amy Phillips' show is Wednesday, April 2nd at the Apollo Theater in Chicago. Okay. So I'll be there if anybody wants to take a glimpse of me. I'm going to be in a costume. I can't say what. It's going to be a surprise. Yeah.
And I may or may not be on, what is it? Watch What Happens Live this week. I'm on standby.
To be like a call in?
Yes. Yeah. So whoever actually got the spot, I hope like their allergies act up or something like that and they can't make it. Because then your girl's going to do it. So fingers crossed.
Once they have you on the list, if you just like every couple of weeks, you can just reply to that email you got and say, just if you have any spots this week, I'd love to do it.
Okay. I'm ready.
That's how I've got on it a few times. That's how you do it.
Okay.
And I'll be glad to give you any pre-pointers. Pre-pointer. They give you the question you're going to ask.
Of course.
And they tell you to write it down and they have you read it back to them verbatim.
Okay.
And they want you to put it on your computer so you can see it, but it doesn't look like you're looking up and down at it, which is kind of hard to do.
It is.
It's not your own words and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Got it.
And they only give you it like 5 minutes before you're supposed to say it. So, but you can say, whoever is the guest, you can go, hey, Andy, Sutton, it's great to see you. My question is for Garcelle.
Great. Okay.
Like that. You can go, Sutton, you look amazing tonight, but my question's for Garcelle, like that,
Okay. I don't know either one of the people who are going to be on there that day. I have no idea who they are, but I'll look them up.
You look them up and just be like, you look great. You got to go do a little kiss ass,
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, I'm excited
Sometimes
for you.
that's what it's all about. Excited for me too. I hope it happens.
Okay, well, make sure you're posting about it and whatnot. So if it does happen, we'll be sure to look for you.
Yeah, I have not been posting this week. I've been near death all this week.
Oh no, Keisha.
Yes, again. I'm on like 4 different kinds of medicines. I thought I was going to have to tell you to tell somebody else to watch the show.
Oh no.
Today's the first day. Yesterday, I felt alive again. Today's first I've been up.
Really?
So we got it together. Yes.
I wish you would have told me, but you never told me.
But no, I feel great today.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel awesome today.
Well, I mean, you look incredible. I mean, I don't even know how you could
you.
possibly be sick and look the way you do.
Oh, thank you.
Because you always look like a freaking supermodel, and I'm literally in like a Grateful Dead shirt that I slept in. But I mean, you know.
Well, I like that. I like that I called you. You were about to get in the shower. It's gonna be like, put me on FaceTime.
Keisha, that is gross. That is gross.
FaceTime,
I will tell you that the way our shower is now, that I can put my iPhone like up against the glass. There's a ledge, and I could watch. Yeah. And then I have the Bluetooth speaker in my shower, you know, that just is in the shower. And so then sometimes I put on like if I'm watching a podcast, which is pretty rare, or I'm watching a show, I just like set it up and then attach the Bluetooth. And that way I don't waste that 7 to 10 minutes in the shower and not listening or working or doing something.
I don't think I've ever been in the shower for 10 minutes.
I don't get in the shower for that long, but sometimes you got to shave your legs. I mean, sometimes
when it's an all over day. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get everything all. Yeah. Which was what I was about to do when I got the call from you. Like, where the hell are you?
Because it's like certain times I'll give you, I'm like, this is normal. She's coming. But I was like, I said 2:10. Like, I'm about to have to call her and see what's going on. Because
I apologize. Got too much going on. But let's start with our show. It's Love After Lockup, season 6, episode 2. Free my man.
They're really extra dumb.
My man. And we have a new contestant on our program. You're right. It's a new girl with a totally new guy. It's not in with Julius and his harem. Her name is Brooklyn.
So we got 2 Brooklyn. So what are we gonna do? White Brooklyn, Black Brooklyn.
Who else do we have named Brooklyn? We have 2 Brooklyns.
Isn't the girl from Texas?
She's Brooke.
JK.
She's Brooke.
Oh, that's still too close.
I was panicked. I was like, "We got a girl named Brooklyn." I'm thinking of Kenya Moore's daughter. Like, I'm confused.
Okay, Brooke and Brooklyn. Got it.
Okay. So Brooklyn is a cheer and gymnastics coach. She is 27. And we've got Brian, also age 27, and he is in prison for aggravated robbery, firearms in a motor vehicle, 6 years. Now, we always like to know what that aggravated means. Does aggravated mean with a gun?
You remember aggravated is like with a weapon, and I think like a person is around or something like that. That's why they get sentenced a little bit more.
Because that's what Louis had, because he was aggravated because he had a knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though that guy tried to stab him.
Yeah, Louis almost got that day. That did not go the way he had planned for it to go at all.
Oh, so Brooklyn says she's never been shy. She's very loud, and she thinks she's Beyonce. We see her dog, Gigi, and then we see her at work. Okay, so she is a larger gal, and she can do a cartwheel. I mean, she was doing all the stuff with the little girls, and I was like, good for you, because I would not even be able to do any of that.
So it was so funny because we have a guy friend who is very plus size, and James goes, well, that's the female version of Brian, because even though he's bigger, he's so flexible, and he like teaches all these classes and stuff. I'm like, the hell do he do that? Like it is like something to really, really to see. But I was kind of concerned. I'm like, she can't make much money if that's her job.
Well, we find out she doesn't maybe need it. Meal kits often market themselves as an easy meal prep solution, but often disappoint with complicated, overlong recipes that aren't worth the effort. Fortunately, Home Chef knows that struggle and delivers fresh, delicious meal kits that respect your time. You guys, lately, I have been so freaking busy recording all of these episodes, all of these extra episodes. When it comes to dinner time, I am wiped out, and I do not have 45 minutes to an hour to cook something for myself or for anybody else. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. This is what I'm talking about. Easy recipes. So whether you prefer the classic meal kits with the pre-portioned ingredients, which I like, but lately they've also got these quick 30-minute recipes, which is saving my life. They also have oven-ready options, which are another lifesaver. They have microwave meals, or they have a dedicated family menu that is, if you've got little kids, sometimes you need to get something different. Home Chef has everything you and your family needs for those hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, we love this, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's a lot of money. And when meal planning ends up being on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5-ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using 5 fresh pre-portioned ingredients. Y'all, you can get in the kitchen, you can pull it out of the fridge, you can prep it in 10 minutes, pop it in the oven, and you've got dinner on the table and everybody's happy, okay? For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. homechef.com/pinkshade. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. So, she goes out to drinks with her family and friends. So we have her brother Jermaine, who she calls him something else. What does she call him?
Something else. It was like some kind of nickname.
Jazzy, Jeezy. Hold on, let me see. My man. That's what I just have written all over about her. All right, when I get to it, I'll tell you what she calls him. So her brother's Jermaine, her sister Ray, and the 2 friends Ovo and Manny. I was like, these people got some names. Ovo and Manny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Jermaine is talking to Brooklyn and goes, everybody here is saying before you got here that you've been with this guy for 6 years. Now, how come I've only known about him for 3 months?
That was very odd.
But she hasn't really been with him for 6 years. She's just known him. She's been talking to him since he went in, but they haven't been like official.
I guess, but 3 days?
3 months.
But he's only known about it for 3 days.
He said 3 months.
Oh, 3 months? That's still not a very long time.
No, it's not if you've been talking to the guy for 6 years.
For 6 years. Yeah. I feel like she was hiding him from her brother.
Well, because she knew what he was going to say.
Uh-huh.
In her talking head, she says, I was very into Brian in high school, but we never dated. Like I would go up and kiss him and make him wear those lips all day. And we, she just sounded like she was she was like fawning all over him, following him around like a little schoolgirl,
like level 1 stalking.
Yeah, well, okay.
Stalking 1-on-1, page 1.
You will like me. I will put this on
right. You. Yep. Marking my territory.
Oh. And after high school, they had a very flirtatious relationship when they would see each other or talk or whatever. And then she heard he was about to do 6 years. She couldn't believe it. So in her talking head, he goes, Brooklyn and I, we've been together about 6 years, but we just made it official this year. So you haven't been together for 6 years. Okay.
And I didn't like the fact that he didn't really want to talk to her until he was about to get locked up.
Yeah. And then also he's been talking to her for 6 years, but we know we're going to find out that that's not the only girl he's been talking to for 6 years.
I'm kind of wondering, is this other girl, that big booty bitch we're going to learn about later on?
Oh, big booty bitch. Right.
Big booty bitch. Yeah.
So she tells all of them, friends and family, she says, look, I want to be with him. I want to have kids. I want to have the whole life. And Jermaine goes, so how's that going to work? Because he's getting out of prison, doesn't have a job. Are you going to be the provider? And she goes, well, I don't know, but I mean, we're both going to, earn money. And Jermaine goes, this is not a fairy tale. Like, this is terrible. So in her talking head, she said, my brother Jermaine is protected because when we were little, our mom died and we sued the hospital. I'm not sure the exact dollar amount, but it was a good amount.
Yeah, I wish she knew the exact dollar amount because I feel like I need to know. Whenever someone gets a lawsuit, I always want to know exactly how much money it is down to the last penny.
And so did the 3 siblings split this money? And they each got $1 million. Did they each get $10,000? I mean,
we need to know.
Yeah. And so she says she really hasn't sent Brian much money at all. She really hasn't. And by the way, if he was like, oh, I heard when she was little, she got this settlement, she's got this trust fund money.
Right.
Then for 6 years, he'd been asking her for money.
He would have been using her. Yeah, I agree too.
And the talking head, Jermaine, says, she did not tell me about Brian because she knew what I would say. So that's why she didn't tell me. So she's like, my man, excuse me, I got to take a call. It is my man. And so she walks out and is talking to Brian on the phone. And she goes, oh my gosh, my brother is just grilling me. He's grilling me. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of the questions because like nobody, believes in our love or whatever. And Brian says, but you know me and they don't. So you have to just like stand on business with that. And she says,
if you don't want someone to question you about your man, just don't tell them that your man is in prison. Start there. That will alleviate probably 50 questions right there. Just don't tell him he's in prison.
That's a great point. And she goes, oh God, do you love me? And we're going to be cool when you get released tomorrow. And also the next day and the next day and the next day. And he goes, of course. Like, why are you questioning this? What's your biggest fear? And she goes, my biggest fear is all this shit was for nothing. And that like, I'm scared, I'm scared.
Right.
And, then in Talking Heads, she says, listen, Brian and I are very open. We're very close. And I know that he's communicated with other women. And, right before we made it official, he was talking to some girl from Jersey. We called her that Jersey bitch just for a few months, not for very long. And I know that Brian loves me and my intuition is always right. I'm never wrong. And the past is the past.
Okay. If you say so, like,
well,
that sounds real confusing to me, but
okay. Here's the thing. So they knew each other in high school and they're 27 now. So yes, then
she stalked him hard
and they're 27 now and he's been in for 6 years. So after high school, they either had jobs or went to college or a combination of both. Somewhere along the way, that's when he went off the rails in that between high school and college time.
Yeah.
So he says, is saying to her, it's always going to be a challenge between us, and once you find your person, you got to be willing to go through everything with that person. And she's like, you're right. I love you so much. Okay. I can't wait to see you. Blah, 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 blah. Hangs up. So she goes to Jermaine. She calls him Jeezer. I wrote Jeezer. Jeezer.
That's Jeezer. Please call me Jermaine.
Jermaine is like, Jeezer was when I was 3.
Right.
Now
I'm a full grown man now.
Yeah.
Jermaine.
So she calls her brother Jeezer and she says, Jeezer, you got to understand that I'm listening. I'm listening to everything you're saying. I know that how this sounds, but I need all of you to listen to me as well. You need to hear what I'm saying. And I'm telling you, he's the one. My life is about to change. And are you with me or are you not? And he goes, hopefully I'm with you, but I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
I mean, I think that's pretty fair. And I can't remember at what point he said this, because she said something about this is my fairy tale. He's like, if it were a fairy tale, he wouldn't be in prison.
Oh, yeah.
That sums up the whole entire series right there. The whole franchise. It's like, your Prince Charming is not doing 5 to 10 in prison. Sorry. It's just like I tell people, your Prince Charming does not have 7 kids. I don't believe that for you. He just doesn't have 7 kids. Sorry.
That's correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of 7 kids, let's move on to Kiana and Demodric. Now, I think last week I was calling him Demondric, but there is no N, so I apologize. It is Demodric.
I'm glad you have to say his name every time because his name confuses me. It's
Demodric, and I just read it as Demondric, like with an M, like Damon with a Rick on the end, but no, it's Kiana and Demodric. And so where we left off last time was they're like, oh, is this? We were like, oh no, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Now, also, Keisha, in the description of this show, it says, Kiana gets some bad news about Demodric's release. And I'm like, well, that's dumb because that was only the first 4 seconds of this
Right. We thought it was going to be something like super dramatic, like you're too close to the property.
Yeah.
Someone already picked him up. He's not being released today. Like all these other things that we've gone through with releases. And this was a nothing burger.
I know, but they wrote that in the description, I think, to preface what happens later.
I guess so.
And I didn't like that.
Part of the release, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't like it because it told me what was going to happen in the episode, and I don't like that.
Got you.
I even try not to put it in the show notes. Like, I don't want to spoil it if people are just listening to the recaps and like don't watch the show, which crazily enough, people do that.
Yeah.
All right. So they confirm you're out there. Yes. So he comes out, and I mean, when I tell you, I was not expecting that man to still have that Mickey Mouse hairdo, Keisha.
Well, I agree.
Okay.
I wasn't that surprised. I was actually surprised that he's really cute.
I wrote on here 3 different times how cute he is.
He's really fucking cute. Like, I think cute. Like we were hoodwinked because of the hair.
Uh-huh.
And we just thought, this is just an ugly, stupid felon person. You know what I mean?
Ugly, stupid felon person.
But then when they really showed him, I was like, damn, he's really cute.
He's a very good looking guy.
And I will say the hair looked better. Okay, it's god awful. Mm-hmm. However, it looked better here than it did in the mugshot. The mugshot did it 0 justice at all.
The mugshot literally looked like he put on those ears from the show. But here you could tell at least it was his hair with his buns. But he does take them out later, so that's good.
Thank God.
So he comes out and he's like, yeah, it's rough. The G-Paw is here and everything, but I'm going to be respectful. And of course they're kissing a lot, doing a lot of booty grabbing, and she twerks on him. And I was like, they laugh. It's cute. And I said, actually, besides that hair, he is a very cute guy.
He's really
I wonder he's got all those kids.
I know, because I wouldn't be able to stay off of it either. Yeah, I mean, he is good. Mm-hmm. And I think she says he has a good body as well.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So anyway, she keeps yelling, pineapple G-Paw. Telling G-Paw to turn around. So he has to go straight to the halfway house for his ankle monitor. They have 5 hours. So they have to,
this always gives me anxiety.
I know, because literally, like, she's like, well, he can't even get any food.
Yeah, like, why do they do that? Why can't they say within 24 hours?
Or, 12 hours, like something.
Or something like that. That's crazy.
He doesn't even get a chance to, like, stand on the side of the road, change clothes, go pee, get some food, nothing.
What if, like, someone wasn't there right then to pick him up?
I don't know. What if he didn't have anybody to pick him up?
Exactly.
So he's in the car and he tells them, I have 3 years probation and it starts August 9th. And they're like, wait, why? Why does it start so long? And he says, because that's the end of the date for my ankle monitor, because he's on parole. And so he's on parole, finishing out his sentence with the ankle monitor. And then the day he gets the ankle monitor off, he starts probation.
Yes.
So in the talking head alone, he has no more buns. And he says, yeah, I never thought my life would go like this. I was in college. I was majoring in physical therapy. I wanted to be a physical therapist, but I got into the wrong crowd. And we see his like college pictures and stuff.
Right. We don't hear this very often, that they actually go, besides Louis, who else?
Like career minded. Like I had a career I was doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We don't hear this. This is new for us. Not brand new, but new.
Yeah. And he says, I got in with the wrong crowd. And I was getting pulled over a lot. And then I got shot in the shoulder. And since I got shot in the shoulder, I always wanted to have a gun. And so the charge that I got when I got pulled over was having a firearm while under federal indictment. So we see also that he was charged with possession with intent to distribute. So obviously he was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
But he ended up with the charge of firearm under a federal indictment because he'd been under federal indictment for the possession with intent to distribute. So, and then he got pulled over with a gun in the car. Good God.
Yeah.
So then he says, I met Kiana when we were in high school, but we weren't dating. And when I was in
she was 12.
She was, she's only 3 years younger than him.
He said he was 16 and she was 12, which,
well,
in later years, it's not that big of a difference, but then it's a big difference of 12 and 16.
So she's 27 and he's 30. So that's right. So when he went to college and say he's 18, 19, and then she's 16, because we see a lot of pictures of them that look like they're from the prom. So I wonder if he came home and
I think so.
Yeah. But meanwhile, he was like drug dealing on campus and then coming home, going to the prom with her, and she's 16.
I know.
And he said,
balance. It's a good balance.
You're right.
Got to balance it out.
He says, I messed it up with her in the past. But this time I want to do it right. I want to propose. I don't want to mess it up. And he is just skating over the fact that he has 6 children with 3 other women. That's
not the important stuff right there.
Nah. 6 kids. That's a lot of kids.
And we're led to believe that during that time they have been together when he had all 6 of these kids. But there was one point where she made it seem like this latest girl, what is her name? Jawala.
It might be Jamila. I don't have my notes from last week, so I don't know.
Something like that. She made it seem like they were together when he cheated on her with that girl.
Yes.
So maybe there was breaks in between. It would have been a whole break the first time you had a baby and we were together.
It makes sense because it seems like because he maybe was in his freshman year of college when he had that first baby. And I don't know if he made quick between 18 and 21, just quick had 6 babies. Like
we have no idea.
We have no idea.
It was a lot because he's only 30 now.
Only 30 with 6 kids.
Jesus.
It's crazy. Oof. So G-Paw is talking to him and says, look, I just want to make sure you got your head on right. I want to make sure you're good to Kiana. And Demadrick says, the past is the past. The present is all I have. I can only do what I'm doing going forward. Now, meanwhile, he is grabbing her ass in the backseat and she is trying to grab his junk under the blanket. And G-Paw is like, excuse me, what's going on about under the blanket? What are we doing?
Pineapple,
G-Paw. Put your earplugs in.
That makes it okay as long as she gave him the warning of pineapple. Carry on.
In the talking head, she tells us, he's not your average felon. He's been to college. He's held many jobs. And I could just see us settling into a nice life with our kids, and it's going to be great. Well, I mean, if you have 1 or 2 kids and you got 6 coming to visit, I hope you got a big house.
You need a baby mansion at that point.
You better get a Alec Baldwin size house because he got 7 kids.
Kidding. And he does not have Alec Baldwin kind of money.
No.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention back child support. He's going to owe back child support on all these kids.
I mean, there could be 4 of them that he has nothing to do with, he gave up the rights to, we don't know.
Yeah, we need more details.
Keenan and Lakin Give You Deja Vu is the podcast hosted by me, Stacey Keenan.
And me, Christine Lakin.
On Keenan and Lakin Give You Deja Vu, we recap the iconic 90s sitcom and TGIF mainstay step by step.
While I was a fan and watched every episode,
I am watching the show for the very first time.
We are lifelong friends and TV stepsisters.
So join us for a juicy peek behind the scenes as we explore what it was like to come of age in front of the cameras on a hit network TV show.
For sweet 90s nostalgia, breakdowns of classic 90s looks, and plenty of laughs, let Keenan and Lakin give you deja vu.
On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So he heads into the parole office and they're running 15 minutes late because, of course, he was like, he goes, they let me out late. It's a 5-hour drive. We didn't get to eat. I mean, we did our best here. So they wait in the car and it's 30 minutes. 45 minutes, an hour. And then finally she goes, I mean, we've been in the car 2 hours, and G-Paw goes, 2.5 hours.
That's a long time.
So she goes, I'm going to go to the door and see what's happening. And a lot of times we see this, they're in and out in 30 minutes. They just get that ankle monitor and keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to the door and we hear this woman say, are you the girlfriend? I'm his counselor. He has to stay here. And she goes, I'm sorry, what?
Right.
The counselor goes, look, it was a shock to me too, but they just told me he entered the building, a Bureau of Prisons building. So now he has to stay here. She goes, there's been a lot of misunderstanding and I'm not sure when it's going to be cleared up. So, I mean, this is not explained to us. Does he have an outstanding warrant?
Yeah.
Is it because he was 15 minutes late? Is it because he is being charged with something else and now has to go to a different prison for a different charge? It is not explained.
Nothing at all. Because at first it's damn, they did this because he was 15 minutes late.
I mean, we've seen people be an hour late. Yeah.
We've seen some of them go the next day.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And was late the next, really casually walking into there when they knew they were a day late showing up. So
yes.
This was a lot.
So in the talking head, she says, I really wished I would have been told this. I know he wishes he would have been told this. This is like a total curveball. So she gets in the car crying and tells G-Paw, and the counselor has said to her, like, grab his bag. Well, I don't know if he's got like an overnight bag pack. He just got out of prison like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think all of his stuff is in those tubs. Like nothing has been like put into a bag, like underwear, socks. I think his shit is everywhere.
And so the counselor comes up to the car and was like, I need the bag. Like, we need to get this moving. And so she's like, I can't deal with this. So G-Paw says, I'll help. So he gets out to help. And then they talk to G-Paw outside and he says, I just want to cry. Like, this is wrong. Like, she has done all this and we get there and this is like a slap in the face. Like, this is just not right.
Right.
And they can't tell her anything. So G-Paw takes her home and he's like, I'm so sorry. And he hugs her and she's really crying. It's very sad. Yeah. And she says, I'll have to stay strong for Demadrick, and not show him that I'm upset. And then she tells us, I don't deal well with emotions, and especially not anger, because I get very overwhelmed. And so you're like, uh-oh.
Well, she did well, because you could tell she was pure pissed off at that counselor woman, especially was like, I need the bag now. Like, I gotta go.
And then she's like, just you, G-Paw, you
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the talking head, she says, he has paid his debt to society. Like, why won't they let him go? It's frustrating. It's always something. And I felt bad for her. I really did.
I do. But at the same time, he wasn't in there for a parking ticket either. Like,
you know what, Keisha, without you, what would I do?
Because, they talk about it like, okay, but he was in prison for a pretty bad reason. You know what I mean? Like, so it is what it is. And he's not totally done anyway. He's still got to be on an ankle monitor, parole, and all this kind of stuff. But she at least needed to know a reason. I don't think the counselor knew the reason.
No, I don't think so either. She just said because he entered a Bureau of Prisons building, now we have to hold him. But
for how long?
Give us some information. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Joey and Michael. Now, I got to tell you something. Michael's cuter on the phone than he is in person.
I wasn't too surprised by that. I think we got kind of wrapped up in the whole bad boy thing too, a little bit. Like, because he's not, I think that Joey is cute.
I do too. Yeah, me too.
I think Michael has that bad boy thing. He's not like someone, if I see him out in public, I'm going to turn around. He's no Mickey Mouse ears boy over there or anything like that. No. But he's a bad boy. So there's just something that we're just drawn to because they're a bad boy.
I think he's a full-blown idiot is what I think.
Girl, I think you're being nice by saying idiot.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So Joey is getting ready. And he says, it's a good day. I'm so excited. He's got his little dog, RJ, there. And he goes, yeah, what I worry about the most is that the PO will put him on lockdown, at the halfway house. And I know that Michael's going to be restricted in his movements. And, we definitely have to follow all the rules. Michael has been in and out of prison since he was 24. And most people would be like, I don't want to go back to prison. But he doesn't care. He's very comfortable there.
He is like the kingpin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he is Mr. Sex in prison. Yeah.
And
he teaches classes. He teaches like on Mondays we have blowjob lessons. On Tuesdays, how to do it with or without lube. On Wednesdays, we do bottoms. On Thursdays, we do hot power tops. On Fridays, it's Freaky Friday. On Saturday, it's slow down motions. Like, I think he does all the sex classes in prison. Okay.
Keisha, I'm dying.
That is what he does.
Oh my God. He does enjoy prison. Yeah. And so, oh God, that's funny. All right. So Joey says, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to defend him anymore. I'm not. He's just
Joey.
He's telling himself this, right?
None of us are buying it at all.
He goes, I'm not going to defend him anymore. I'm not. He says, when he gets out, he has to build relationships and earn trust by himself without my help. I'm ready to help him, but he's got to get people to trust him on his own. I'm not going to enable him. I'm not. So he says, Yeah, I do worry a little bit about the intimacy part because, Michael, we know, is so experienced.
Right.
And he says, but maybe I'm wondering, like, maybe now it'll be even better because we actually have like an emotional connection and we're both sober. And so we're on the same playing ground here. And we do talk about the future all the time about what will happen. And it's very exciting. It's prison talk. It's prison talk.
And here's the thing. Like, we have heard about this sex off of drugs so many times. Like, I think like his sobriety should be like at the top of the list.
Yes.
But it's this whole intimacy thing sober that, I mean, that is really important to them. Like, real important.
And they're both very worried of how it will go,
I think they'll be fine.
I do too. So, I mean, I think Michael's an expert. He could do it
anyway.
Asleep.
I think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so Joey is saying, my big thing is monogamy. And to me, boyfriend means monogamy. He's my boyfriend. Right. That means we're monogamous. But I don't know if that's what it means to Michael. And, I haven't really thought this through. What will I do if he starts using again? What will I do? Like, do I leave him? Do I cut bait and run? Do I try to help him? Like, okay, you've had a year. You should have come up with a plan.
These worked out. Yeah. I think he should have been working through this with a therapist.
Yeah.
Which the therapist probably would have just said, you don't need to do this at all. But yeah, this is a wrong time to be figuring out like what you're going to do. And the answer is, as soon as he does any of these things, you need to leave.
He needs to be in Al-Anon in addition to NA and AA and all the things.
All the things.
So in the talking head, we see Michael and he goes, yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous about the future, but I'm so in love with Joey and it's great and whatever. All right. Joey waits outside for 30 minutes. Vans come and go. Okay. And of course, before the commercial, they try to make us think, is that him? Is he not coming?
Right.
Come on now. Why?
I don't know why they do the same shit to us all the time. Like, we know this script.
We've seen it a few times.
Yes, we have.
So he comes out, they kiss and they hug, and Joey has a box instead of a trash bag. So that's good.
Yes, that's good.
We see his booking sheet. Michael is 5'11" and 150 pounds. Ooh. That is tall. It's not that tall, but that is very skinny.
So you know what that means.
Okay. All right.
That's why Joey can't get rid of him. That's how I got Skylar. You mess with those boys. I mean, they
stop.
It's true.
So Joey has brought him some clothes. He changed his clothes. And Michael says, yeah, like I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I've abstained from masturbation for a full week. And Joey's like, oh, I waited a lot longer than that. He goes, but I don't have that sex drive that you have. And Michael's like, yeah, nobody does. It's actually
and I don't think he lasted a week.
He didn't
masturbate. He didn't masturbate for a week, but he was fucking during the week.
Fucking somebody.
Yes, he was.
He just thought if I say it this way, he won't ask. And he followed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in the talking head with Michael, this is the first time we've seen him like sitting in a chair, Right. And he says, and this is sad, and it makes you, again, we think like, if people could just be accepted for who they are, that, whatever, we could preach on it. But Michael says, growing up, he never wanted to admit he was homosexual. He said, I prayed to God really hard, to make it not be true, to make me straight.
That's so hard to hear.
And he like looks down and kind of cries, and it's just,
it's sad.
It's very sad. And he says, in high school, I was effeminate. I like to sing. I like to do music. I like to make fun videos. And of course, we're like, let's see that side of you.
Because that is not the perception that we have gotten from like musical theater kids.
No.
It's not. We didn't get that. We're like Pornhub is what we think about.
Yes.
Pornhub and drugs.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. So he enrolled in the Navy. And he met a guy, I think he said right after boot camp, and they were in a relationship for 2 years. And he says, one night I was at a bar and, with the boyfriend or whatever, and I took off with somebody else. He goes, I didn't know. It was my first time being gay. Like, I didn't know. I took off with somebody else. I cheated on my boyfriend. And the boyfriend was so good to me and he loved me. And I did that. And I guess he felt a lot of shame about it. And he says, so we go from, out of high school, went into the Navy, was in the Navy, had this boyfriend, got some shame because I cheated on him. So I met up with my high school friends and started using meth. Mm-hmm. That's quite a leap.
Yeah, I think there's something that maybe he snorted that memory away. I don't know, but I feel like we missed some pieces there.
You don't
but then again, it's Michael.
Yeah, we don't quite get it. He says, it took, doing meth takes up all your time, all your energy, all the attention away it takes from being with your family or your friends. And Joey is what I've been looking for my whole life. Joey brings calm to my sanity, and he's more than I could ever ask of. I think he's sort of like, it's a chance to redo it where he had that good guy before.
Right.
It's like a chance to redo with like a decent guy.
I think that Michael loves Joey as much as Michael can love a person, which is probably not to the level of love that we may feel for our partners. But I think this is all Michael's got. I really do.
Keisha, that's a really good point. I think that's a really good point. So Joey shows him, oh, look, here's your phone. Here's your charger. He goes, and it's got a new number. And he goes, what? He goes, yeah, I told my mom not to do that. And he goes, yeah, your mom erased it. Your mom did that.
Had nothing to do with it.
I wasn't there. I don't even know. And he goes, wait, you guys didn't wipe it, right? Oh my God, you guys factory reset it? Like, you guys are savage. So he's going, look, don't do that. Like, don't do that. And he says, and this is something that they teach you when you are dealing with somebody who's an addict. He says, look, I'm going to do what I want to do if I want to do it. I'm going to find a way. So you just doing this doesn't, I remember, when my husband was getting out of rehab, I was like, well, what if he does this? And what if he does that? And the counselor said to me, what if he does? You can't do anything about it. You can't control it. If somebody wants to, where there's a will, there's a way. If somebody wants to go back, then they're going to, whether they got all their contacts or not, He'll
feel it may slow him down a little bit.
Yeah.
But he still will, he's fucking gonna do it. Like
he's gonna do it. I mean, we're not dumb here. And Joey says, right, but what do you need the old contacts for? Like, what do you need them for? And then talking head on the side of the road, Michael says, yeah, I am thinking about how I can do it the first time I have an opportunity. And the producer says, well, doing what? And he says, using. I'm trying to think of how I can do it, how I can get away and do it, but not mess anything up with Joey.
Like, doing it will mess things up with Joey. That's what he doesn't have in his head.
But it's like, this is every addict in the world. Like, guess what? If I just do it this way this time, I won't get caught and it won't spiral out of control like the last time, because this time I have control of it. When you never have control of it, it has control of you.
He needs to go to rehab.
He does.
He needs to do that. Rehab.
I think we said last week, he needs to do that thing that Louis did, which was like jail for X amount of time, and then like the re-immersion program or whatever it's called. Reintegration.
Because he's already, as soon as he gets an opportunity.
Yes.
He's going to be at a bar, in a bathroom, fucking doing something for some meth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's sad.
It's very sad.
Because he's not ready to be free.
And he says, I don't want to mess this up with Joey because he's perfect for me and I'm perfect for him. Yeah. I don't know about that second part.
I don't know about that. No, I think you're going to fuck up this man's life. That's what I think.
Oh my God. I'm so worried. I'm so worried.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Brooke and JK, who we did find out this week. His first name is James.
Is it James?
Yeah, because the mom said James more than once.
Okay, we did James and John. You did James? I said John?
I said James. I said James Keith, and you said John, and I don't know what you said the K was for.
I didn't even give him a middle name.
Okay, Kendrick.
Lamar. His name is James Kendrick Lamar. JK for short. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Brooke walks into this hotel, and a woman is sitting there who we find out is JK's mom. And she goes, hey, how are you? And she goes, I'm tired. And they wouldn't let me check into the room because it's not in my name. And she's like, okay. They're checking
that's
in.
How it works.
And they find out they have one bed in this room.
No.
Now, Keisha,
no.
Either you say, then I'm going to need a second room.
Yes.
Or you say, I'm going to need you to do something to find out. I know you've got beds, a room with 2 beds in this hotel. I know it's not sold out.
We're not. That is literally sleeping in the bed with a stranger.
Yes.
I can't do it. Can't do it. No.
I listen, I had to sleep a couple of weekends ago. I went on that girls trip and my friend Whitney and I shared a king bed. And on the second night, she said, I'm out. She said, I'll sleep on the couch. I can't sleep in here with you. I said, I don't want to sleep with you either. So it works out.
I mean, that is, some people are okay with that.
Yeah. I can sleep with my sister. I can sleep with my sister, one of my sisters. The one that
I could probably sleep with Skylar.
I sleep with Anna.
Anyone else, like outside of James, just seems kind of odd.
It does. If you're above the age of 30, it's strange.
It's a little odd. Yeah.
So, okay. So she doesn't demand another room. They're just like, okay, bedmates, haha. So in the talking head, mom says, I think about my son, James, so much. You know, I pray, you know, he can stay out of prison. She tells a story about how he's always had tons of girlfriends. And then one time he handed the phone to his mom and was like, say hey to my girlfriend. And he said the wrong girlfriend's name.
That's embarrassing right there.
And again, in the words of Kimberly from A Date with Dateline, him?
I don't get it. But they are like kind of country folk.
They're country folk, and maybe he's got all his teeth and we just can't see him, but it currently seems like he doesn't.
I feel like he does not have all of his teeth.
I think they've been methed right out of his head.
I think so. I think he's got kind of a Louis situation going on, but we just haven't been able to see it all the way. But he just fucking looks like he's dumb. He doesn't look like he's smart at all. Yeah. He's got a dumb energy about him. I don't know. But I don't like Brooke that much either because she is dumb.
I know.
Through and through.
Yeah.
Her poor boy. It's all the bee babies.
All the bees. Brighton and Brayson and Braylon and all right. Meal kits often market themselves as an easy meal prep solution, but often disappoint with complicated, overlong recipes that aren't worth the effort. Fortunately, Home Chef knows that struggle and delivers fresh, delicious meal kits that respect your time. You guys, lately, I have been so freaking busy recording all of these episodes, all of these extra episodes. When it comes to dinner time, I am wiped out and I do not have 45 minutes to an hour to cook something for myself or for anybody else. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. This is what I'm talking about. Easy recipes. So whether you prefer the classic meal kits with the pre-portioned ingredients, which I like, but lately they've also got these quick 30-minute recipes, which is saving my life. They also have oven-ready options, which are another lifesaver. They have microwave meals, or they have a dedicated family menu that is, if you've got little kids, sometimes you need to get something different. Home Chef has everything you and your family needs for those hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, we love this, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's a lot of money. And when meal planning ends up being on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5-ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using 5 fresh pre-portioned ingredients. Y'all, you can get in the kitchen, you can pull it out of the fridge, you can prep it in 10 minutes, pop it in the oven, and you've got dinner on the table and everybody's happy, okay? For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. homechef.com/pinkshade. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. So Brooke says, she's talking to the mom and she says, JK, he makes me want to be a better person. He's always rooting for me. And yeah, like we want to get married. And then
I'm so tired of that. I got to interrupt you.
Okay.
They always do this. They're like, oh, he calms me down. He makes me want to be a better this. He makes me want to be, he makes me think. Why do you guys keep making these prisoners out to be therapists? Like, I need him
because they have nothing else to do but to talk to you all day.
And they're probably saying the simplest of things to you. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, oh, what he said is so great, so great. Like, stop it. Like, this is still a not smart person. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in prison.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
he makes me want to be a better mom.
And she says,
How?
of course, we want more babies, of course.
Mm-mm.
The mom says, look, when he gets out, he needs to not rush into anything. He needs to breathe free air and not have somebody tell him what to do, when to do it, what time to do it. And Brooke says, maybe that's what he needs, is that structure. And mom says, no, he needs his freedom for a while.
Yeah.
And then Brooke says, okay, so what's the deal? Now, Brooke says this to his mother. Mm-hmm. What's the deal? Was he a whore in the past? I mean, is he still a whore? What, to his mother? But you know what? Mom rolled right.
She sure did. Mom knows her son, and she's like, well, I mean, what is there to lie about? Yeah, he is a whore. Like, that seems like we've not heard of him like having a job, going to school, none of these things, only chasing women.
Never heard of any kind of job he may have had. And mom goes, well, I'll just put it this way. He never had a problem having girlfriends in or out of prison. He's had quite a few. So Brooke says to mom, yeah, like, what about that girl, Alex? Mm-hmm. And mom goes, Alex was very good to him. She went and saw him every weekend. She sent him money. She was a part of our family, really. And, I still talk to her. She doesn't come around as much, but yeah, she was a family member. But I tell her the truth all the time. JK's got a girlfriend, and this is not good.
She probably should not have asked about Alex, because I don't think she was expecting to hear, I still talk to her. She was like a family member. Mm-hmm. We all really loved her. We really hoped they would have gotten married and had kids. I mean, I think she started to regret that she asked that question.
Yeah, it was really something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so mom says, I do tell Alex the truth that he has a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now it's the next morning, and JK calls Brooke, is like, what are you doing? She's like, oh my gosh, I'm up so early because I'm getting ready to see my man. Yeah. And mom walks in and goes, we got to get ready. Get your shit together. We have to go.
Why are you on the phone with him? You're about to see him in 20 minutes.
And the talking head, she says, other than when I had my kids, I've never been so excited about something in my life. Well, I was glad she said that.
Thank God.
Because sometimes these people never mention their kids.
And I still feel a certain kind of way that other than that, this is the most she's been excited. Like,
that's kind of sad.
Don't y'all do rodeos? You're not excited when you see the guys getting booked off, or like
you see your son riding that little tiny sheep.
Yeah. This is like the next proud moment for you, is him getting out of prison. Okay.
And then she says, JK has spent most of his life doing all these bad things, and I hope he's able to fight it when he gets out. Now they're in the car, they're driving to the prison, and the mom starts crying. Like, I just can't like think about this. Like, if he does something, it has to go back. And, it's very hard on the person that's locked up, but it's also so hard on the people out here who love them. And now we get this, hopefully, guys, last talking head, we're going to see him in that prison outfit. But he says, all this time I've been gone, I missed with my family. And the worst part being in here is both of my grandfathers have died when I've been in prison. And I had to get on the phone with my grandfather. I could hear him breathing his last breath and tell him how much I loved him on the phone. And that's been really hard. But, now I'm a better man. I'm a changed man. I'm a different man than I used to be. So. No,
you're not. You're in prison cheating
with, and having like your one girl run interference between these other girls.
Yeah. You've not changed at all.
And also brokering rental contracts between your friends. Like, oh, could my friend come and live with you? Because she has to move out of this. Oh, God. Mm-hmm. So they talk about, well, Alex better not be here. And Brooke's like, I don't want to have to lay hands on anybody today.
Girl.
And, okay. It's 8 a.m. They're waiting. And they're both like, oh, we're going to throw up. I got to throw up. I got to shit my pants. I'm going to throw up. And
it's not like me when I eat dairy.
And they drive up and I'm like, wow, that looks like Anna. I got the exact same car as my daughter, a white Nissan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. I am so proud of us. We are just kicking along with this episode. We are doing it, girl. All right.
Not fucking around today.
No, not today. All right. Savannah and Bradley with no E. All right.
She's exhausting.
I'm mad at him at the end of I'm mad at him.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget we're mad at him.
Quite upset with him too, but if we're starting from that part where we don't know what he says, she's a lot.
Well, she's very over the top with her personality. And so earlier when we met Brooklyn, who said like, I'm a lot, and she's just like, woo. And Savannah's like that. It's a lot of like over the top behavior to get your attention. And you're like, just settle down.
Chill.
Like, it's just your personality is enough. Yeah.
Yes.
So 10 minutes out of prison. So he's changing clothes. Now he's driving. He says it's been 28 months, 2 days, and 7 hours since he drove a car. Now, why? So why is he driving?
Well, his license hasn't expired.
I know, but why is she just like, yeah, go ahead and get in and drive?
Well, this is not the first time. I think a lot of the guys, like, it's like almost like a freedom thing for them. Like, I'm driving, I'm in control. That's the only thing I can get for. I mean, I'm a passenger princess.
Yeah. Okay.
Personally, but I think it's just freedom from them. Like, oh man, I haven't done this in so long. This feels so good.
Yeah.
I just think it's that. And Brooke looks like she likes to sit back with her fucking feet on the dashboard.
Savannah.
It seems like
Savannah. You call her Brooke.
You know you got to get me to the third episode. I know. And forget their names right. Yeah.
I know. Because I've got their names in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Savannah, okay, so he's driving and he's like, wow, like, look at this. So like the space and all the trees, I think it's like information overload,
soothing. I think so too. Yeah.
And it's a 1 hour, 45-minute drive if we're going from Mitchellsville, where the prison is, to Richmond, which I think they live outside of Richmond. But she says, well, we can switch and I can drive. I just thought you'd want to sit over here and look at your phone. And he goes, no, because I think I'll get too hyper focused on it and it'll be like too overwhelming, which I think is like really kind of like smart to know. Like,
I think so too.
I'm going to get too overwhelmed by that. So I need to, I thought that.
And we're not used to that. Usually, where's my phone, bitch? I still got the same number. Yeah, we're used to that kind of stuff. And he's like, no, that's just too much for me right
Where's
there.
my phone, bitch?
Bitch.
So in the talking head, he goes, I'm out now and I've got so much to think about. Like, I'm free, but I got to get so much stuff straight. Like my EBT card, my Medicaid, my probation rules. I got to open a bank account. I start work on Monday. I have 1 day off before I go back to my roofing job. So I was like,
we're not used to hearing that either.
No, got a job already? Good.
Yeah.
Good. So the talking head, she says, he's overwhelmed. There's a lot of anxiety around getting out and coming home. But, I got to be honest, I'm looking forward to getting fucked. Okay, Savannah, just take it down a notch. Okay.
Priorities.
So she is driving now and she presses, like if you have CarPlay in your car and you can just have it, read it to you. That's what she does. Yeah. So the car reads the text from grandma, which says like, I'm really not feeling well. So I'm not going to be at dinner. I've told your mom how to prepare You're going to salt and pepper them on both sides. And it's starting to read. And she goes, oh, my grandma's so funny. Look at her telling us like how to, and she's talking. And he's like, oh my God, turn that off.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot because grandma was talking and then she was talking like, mom, grandma's so funny. And he's like, why do you have it set up to do that? Like, it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's only been in prison 2.5 years.
But he's very institutionalized.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
So he says, I'm tired. I've had a really overwhelming day and I got to meet your mom like right away. Like, honestly, I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So they get to, it's a short drive, but we don't know. Like, they're supposed to get out at 8. Maybe he got out at noon and maybe they stopped for lunch and maybe, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know.
They didn't show any of that with them.
Yeah. Because by the time they get home, it's definitely like dinner time.
Yeah.
And so they stand in the garage before they go in and he's like, I'm tired. I just want to he says, I just want to start doing stuff. So I don't know if that means he wants to have sex or whatever, but we don't know if he's eaten. And he goes, she goes, all right, we'll go in. We'll just make it quick. We'll say hi. Like, we don't have to have dinner. We'll just go in and say hi.
Right.
Which of course is not going to go well if that's what they do.
Of course.
They walk in and mom was like, whoa, and like screams and runs over and hugs him.
Everything that this guy totally did not want to have happen is happening right now.
But she reminds us, she does advocacy for prisoners when they come out and she tells him, she goes, this is what I do for my job. And sometimes these men come out and they have no one. They have no one to help them. They have no one to congratulate them, to give them any guidance. And it's very sad when people come out and they have no one. So I wanted to make sure I was here in this kitchen when you came home.
That was really sweet. But this is not the case with Bradley. I mean, he's got his family. He's going to be living with his dad. His dad has hooked him up with a job.
Yeah.
He's got Savannah, who's ready to take her IUD out, get pregnant, get married, buy a house, go on summer vacation, have sex, have twins. Like, she's ready for it all. Like, she said all of this as soon as he got out of the van.
Yeah, that's right. She
overloaded him before he even got into her vehicle. Like, he's mentally exhausted already.
But I think that Chenoa, the mom, I think her telling him all that made him really like her. And he goes, that really touches me.
Yeah.
It touched him because he's like, so many guys that I knew in there probably are coming out with nobody. And it's nice to have a group that will come out and advocate for people getting out. So, now they go upstairs and they're laying in the bed, and her talking head, she says, we already knew this about her. She says, I have a lot of body insecurity because I've gained and lost a lot of weight. We see her like when she's thinner, we see her when she's heavier. And that happens a lot of times with people that are on and off drugs. And she says, when I was 21, I had gastric bypass. And last year I had a tummy tuck. Talking head, he tells us, nah, like sex isn't really on my mind. And, her body has changed dramatically since we first started talking, and she's not on drugs anymore. So that's a positive, but she's also not 130 pounds anymore. Like, she's more like 150, and that 150 on 5'4", I mean, that's a little healthy. That's a healthy weight.
Wow.
Excuse me. I am very close to that 5'4", 150, and you could fuck right off, Bradley.
So when they showed, I think it was like right before a commercial break, and they kind of, you could tell he was going to say that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he was going to say her body has changed. She looks great.
Yeah.
I was shooketh when he said this, that he meant it.
To have the nerve to say that out loud, probably to a room full of men and women on television.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely, if the production was kind of goading him, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
He could have definitely worded that 10 times differently.
Yeah, because for someone like, say it, don't spray it. As someone who has struggled so much with weight.
Yeah.
And for you to get to a point where you feel I look good.
Yes.
And then you have the person who is with you saying, oh, but that 20 pounds, because he's talking about literally 20 pounds.
Right. Mm-hmm. And before she looked horrible because she was on
real
meth.
thin. And she wasn't like skinny. She was like near death kind of skinny. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he's basically saying you looked better then.
Right.
That's like heartbreaking.
My note here is, okay, well, Keisha, now we have to hate him. I mean, because
any
man that says that,
I feel so bad for her when she sees that.
Me too.
That's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the end of Savannah and Bradley. We hate him now. And so,
yes, we do.
Of course, we have to go now to Ashley and Julius and Alexis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, it is the funniest thing, Keisha, because I sent you that picture of Ashley throwing her head back and laughing with all the teeth missing in the back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And somebody in the Facebook group posted the exact picture. It said, can't wait to hear what Mary Payne's going to say about this. I said, that is the exact photo that I sent to Keisha. I said, we got a problem.
Mary Payne, like, this girl is a shapeshifter.
She is.
I don't know if you ever watched this show. It was called Roswell.
I know what you're talking about. It was about the Roswell, New Mexico. Yeah.
And it's like a group of teenagers. Yeah. And like they had these people, what they call skin crawlers. I don't know, but like you would blow and like their skin would turn into like flakes and they'd be a different person. Ew. This is this girl. I told you, I said, we have seen this same girl in 12 different fonts, but it's like the cheapest font set that you could get off of Etsy. Because none of the fonts are cute. I mean, like her size, her face, her makeup, her eyebrows, her teeth,
hair color,
skin tone,
everything.
It is confusing as hell.
Oh my God. So we're with Ashley in the Party City store. She's with some friends and she's buying welcome home stuff. So she asked the lady at the store, she goes, do you have some handcuffs? She's like, we do. And she's like, ooh, these are the real thing. Girl, these are plastic from Party City. You could get these off with a come on now. All right. But she's like, ooh, it's so stupid. So her friends are like, you going to be throwing it back tonight, girl? Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh yeah, tonight, tomorrow, all day. I'm going to be getting pregnant this weekend. Yeah. I'm going to have another baby with an Ash name. And
ew.
Her friends are like, girl, we got to get the ring first and then the baby. And then they're asking like, okay, so who's picking him up? And she says, oh, his mom. His mom's picking him up. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So talking head outside, one of her friends says, yeah, this is the typical man in jail. He's going to get out. It won't be anything. Right. And I hate to say it, like, I hope it doesn't happen, but I've been in that situation.
It is so funny that like her friends are gassing her up in front of her.
Yeah.
When they do their talking heads, are like, here we go.
They're like, we know this isn't going to be shit. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, thank God her friends are not all delusional because she is queen of delusion in this shop.
Totally.
Look with her fourth face on.
Maybe, this is her original face. I hate to say it.
I don't even know which one. I don't know which one is the real one. I really don't.
And then the other friend says, yeah, I hadn't liked this guy since day one. He said he was going to get a matching tattoo with her and he's never done it. And she got the tattoo. And the other friend goes, yeah, it's a big step. You get a tattoo. It's permanent. And she's never even really met him in person. It's like, not really. She never has met him in person.
She's never met him in person. And she was stupid enough to buy the reason that he gave her for not being able to see him in person.
I don't know. Like they just keep rejecting you. I don't know why.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she's
because they probably can't get for her form of identification has a different face on all of us. So they're like, we're really not sure who she is. Like
we think she may be in witness protection. We're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she says, like he doesn't want me to meet his family right away. And and it's my birthday and everything, guys. And then she goes, you know what I got for my birthday last year? And she shows her Julius tattoo that she got on her birthday as a gift to herself last year.
Oh.
And the friend goes, oh, so did he get the matching one? Did that ever happen? And she's like, no. And they're all like, girl, come on now. This is nothing but red flags. Nothing but red flags. And she goes,
and you're in the perfect place to get a tattoo. You're in fucking prison.
Just you sell somebody
any time of the day.
2 packs of ramen and you're good to go.
You got a tattoo. Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, I can't wait though. I'm going to see him tonight. And, but I don't even know right now if he's even out. They're like, what? She goes, yeah, like his mom's going to pick him up and he's going to call me. And then, everything is going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing.
And she's just sitting there like all of this shit is completely normal. Like, do you not see that there's something wrong with this story?
No, she doesn't. But her friends do. Because one girl's like, I've been there, girl. He's lying. He's lying.
They're totally peeping they are peeping all the game that he's throwing at her.
So over to Alexis, okay? Mm-hmm. She is going to Chillicothe, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, Ohio. She decided to hug and kiss her man. These 2 towns, Chillicothe and Cincinnati, I believe, are 1 hour and 45 minutes apart. So she has gone to pick him up. She arrives to get him and she's standing there. She's like, ooh, is that it? Oh. And this little tiny fella walks up and she's like, oh, hello,
number one.
Hello, little tiny fella, troll number 1. And his name is Tyler. And she goes, oh, okay. Hey, Tyler, I didn't know you were here. And she goes, yeah. He goes, okay, well, surprise, here I am. We're talking and she goes, I am shocked that Tyler has arrived and I'm trying not to give attitude because I thought we were going to be alone. I think it seems sneaky. Tyler is Julius's big sister Lene's baby's father. So my question to you is he Julius's brother-in-law or is he Lene's baby daddy?
The baby daddy.
Okay, because I don't think they're brother-in-law, not married.
He just don't seem like the marrying type to me.
No, he sure doesn't. And it doesn't seem like a type who should have a baby either.
No.
So then she goes, oh, excuse me, another person has arrived, and this is Jordan.
Troll number 2.
Troll number 2, Jordan arrives, is Tyler's brother.
Yeah.
And Jordan
the family resemblance is deep.
Jordan's missing quite a few teeth. And they were obviously just party buddies of Julius. Okay. So here he comes. And other than the 1 million tattoos on his face and neck, he is in fact extremely attractive.
He's a cute. I thought that his mugshot, his face looked really cute.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I was like, he is a pretty boy.
So he has gotten all of that work in prison.
While he was in prison.
Yeah.
I mean, he was there, 6 years? And started out at 18?
6 years, started out at 18. Yep.
Yeah, maybe he got a tattoo for every book he read, Mary Payne. That's what I'm going to hope.
You know what? You dream big, girl.
That's what I'm gonna. That is my hope and prayer. It's like every book he read, he got a tattoo.
That's great, Keisha. I love that. I love that optimism. So the talking head, they're standing together because he comes out and they're like, oh, okay, whatever. He's standing there with her and she says, the thing about Julius is he's a real man. He wants to be a leader. He wants to take charge like a real man. He wants to be the leader of our family. He literally licks his lips and looks off to the side like, ooh, yeah.
He's like, she really bought that shit that I said, huh?
Wow.
She really buying this shit.
Like, I am good. I'm good.
Well, his friend is there with a solo cup.
He and Tyler and Jordan talk and they're like, oh my God, we are so glad he's out. We could turn up. Would you wait till you were 18? He has missed out on so much clubbing and so many girls and so many experiences. We're back to turn up. Here's a cup of Patron.
In front of the prison.
In front of the prison
grounds.
And he said, Julius takes a sip and goes, first time drinking legally. Because he's 5 years past being legal drinking age because he's been in prison.
Yep.
So then in his talking head, he says, in prison, they call me Linky because I got long armed and leg. They call me Linky, Link. Yeah. And the producer goes, the actual word is lanky.
Lanky. Yeah.
And he goes, Linky, lanky. I didn't learn that in that book that got that neck tattoo for. Yeah. And he tells us, my mom had it hard and we didn't have a lot of money. And so that's how I fell into dealing drugs to get quick cash for money. And so when I was like 15, 16, I started selling fentanyl. And I straight out sold to an informant. And they came and raided my house and they found the fentanyl and they found the money. And that was it. I was like, did you know Montana Mills? Because that's the same story.
I just thought it was kind of funny that he could pronounce informant better than he could pronounce lanky.
Lanky. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, he had no problem with informant and fentanyl.
Not at all.
And he says, and when you go to prison, people that you think will be there for you are not. The people who you don't know will show you more loyalty than people who you actually love and know. And that was Alexis for me. Alexis, she's more than my girl. She is my best friend. Like my energy be good when I'm around her. That's Alexis. That's everything she is to me. And the producer says, well, what about Ashley? And he goes, yeah. That was his answer. His answer was, yeah.
Okay. I think he's in those highly photoshopped photos that she has sent him. Because that does not look like the same person who was in that party shop.
Nope, it does not.
At all. Not even a little bit.
Now we see his charge sheet with his much cuter, younger photo. He is 6'6".
Holy shit.
152 pounds.
Gee, he ain't gonna be able to lift nobody up.
6'6", 152. He is 2 pounds heavier than Savannah and a foot and 2 inches taller.
I think that he would be the perfect size for Bradley.
That's right. Bradley would enjoy his weight.
He would like that.
It would be commensurate with his height.
Yep.
He was convicted. These are his charges: aggravated trafficking, 2nd-degree felony, possession of drugs, 1st-degree misdemeanor, attempted aggravation, possession of drugs, 5th-degree felony. So basically, got drugs, trying to sell drugs, aggravated possession, which means probably he also had some kind of weapon.
Yeah.
So then he gets to the car to ride with his friends, and he says, "What are you doing?" He's, "I'm just going to ride with them to breakfast." And they're all like, "You get to ride all the way home with him. It's fine. You're going to be with him for the rest of the day. Let him ride with us to breakfast." And she's like,
"I would have been pissed off."
I would have been pissed off too. And she's like,
"Yeah,
okay, great. He's pissing me off already."
Yeah, I would have been like, "Find a way to my place." Better yet, don't even come to my place.
And the talking
That's so rude.
It's so rude. And the talking head, she goes, "Where were all these boys for all those years? Where were these guys for all those years? Were they coming to see you? Were they putting money on your books?" "No, that was me." And she goes, "I have sent him some money, maybe like $1,200, which in the scheme of this show,
that's nothing at all. Nothing.
Nothing.
Because I was like, did she say that right?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really fucking low. We're used to like 20,000, 30,000.
And you're like, how?
Easily.
How?
I know.
So they get in the car and like, let's drink, let's smoke, let's roll that exotica, whoop, whoop. And
they're still in the parking lot of the prison.
Yeah. Remember, and he is still technically 18 years old because that's the age he was when he went in. And these guys are 26.
Yeah.
And he goes, let me look at my phone. Let me get my phone. And that's the brand new phone he just took out of the box that Alexis gave him.
Yep.
And the producer goes, so who's the first person you're going to call? He goes, I got to call Ashley. So now back to Ashley. The friend is like, look, there's 3 kinds of talk. There's jail talk, there's real talk, and there's home talk. And jail talk is not real talk. And she laughs. She goes, "Oh, really?" And they're like, "Do you got to know, is he going to come home and rock with you or not?" And she goes, yeah, he is.
You don't even know what time he's fucking getting released from prison.
You don't even know if it was. So the talking head, she says, "I know when Julius gets," and in the talking head, she looks like an entirely different person.
Yep.
Talking head, she says, "I know when Julius gets out, we're going to be together 24/7. No one will be able to tear us apart. Except for Alexa."
Okay.
Now, this is what I wrote. Keisha, as he is saying how his girl Ashley is so fun and the life of the party, and she's so great. We see her with her friends, and she has thrown her head back in laughter, and there are so many teeth missing, and I was upset.
Because she just had so much fun. She's been too much of the life of the party. Maybe there was some drug usage somewhere in there. I think he has fallen in love with her because she used to be a stripper.
Yeah, and he thinks, okay, that girl can get it. Yeah.
Well, she's had a lot of miles on her since those stripper days. And I think he's going to be really surprised when he sees her.
So then as they're leaving the prison, still haven't left, they're drinking, and the guy in the back seat is like licking and fixing the joint in the back seat and everything. And he has his buddies stop at the corner of the prison where the hole is to yell at his buddies in the hole, like, "Stay strong, I love you." And they're like, "We love you, woo, woo, woo." And they're yelling out of the prison. Which
this is not like you guys just got off active duty from the military. Okay. This is prison.
Right. So he says, yeah, I'm excited to be out of prison. I get to see Alexis. And, I also get to see Ashley. And, look, here's the thing. I hate to do it, but it's got to be done. I can't predict everything, and that's exciting to me. And then we see him call Ashley.
I cannot fucking wait until he sees her.
Well, I think from what we've seen from scenes coming up, it's like he's in a parking lot, and we've got Alexis, Ashley, and like some other girls are there too. Like there's many girls, not just the 2.
Well, we know now that Ashley is currently Alexis is currently pregnant with his baby.
I did not know that. Breaking news.
Yeah. She's currently pregnant. And apparently him playing all these girls while he was in prison, one of his ex-girlfriends is saying that Alexis knew all about it. And she's like putting up screenshots and all this kind of stuff. So
meaning she was like that other girl like that we had last season and like got her boyfriend to do that so she wouldn't have to send him money.
Something like that. So I guess we'll see. Good luck.
That was some
He doesn't seem like the fatherly type to me.
No, he doesn't seem like the marrying type, the fatherly type, the type to like get a job type with his whole face tattooed up. It's going to be hard. Nope.
Yep. Very. Mm-hmm.
Next week on Love After Lockup, Brooklyn, if you recall, Brooklyn and Brian, Brooklyn says, she's driving in her car and she goes, if the bitch who's picking you up don't let me see you, I'm going to fight her. Now, are you talking about like his mother? Like, what are we doing here?
Okay. All right.
Kathy, JK's mom, says, now y'all don't need to have any children. Y'all don't. And Brooke says, well, I mean, it would be at least 9 months. Stupid.
Just stupid.
Keisha, your favorite thin eyebrowed, thin skinned girl is back as Sister Elizabeth.
I saw her.
She tells Bradley and Savannah, I feel like I got betrayed, dude. And Bradley's like, what? And then Savannah says, bitch, why did you attack me? And Alyssa says, we're going to have some drama here. And it's not
I think there is going to be a lot of drama with the
because we've seen it.
Sisters. Yeah.
Like currently on social media, they're going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Joey and Michael. So Michael must be looking at like his social media. He was able to log into that, even though his phone was wiped. He must have remembered his password. And he goes, oh, wow, this is exciting. I have a boatload of messages here. One of them says, send me a dick pic so I know it's you.
That is so funny.
Joey walks around outside the car crying, saying, oh, this is really stressing me out. Poor Joey.
Oh, Joey.
He needs his dad to be there in the backseat. Like, it's okay. You betcha. It's going to be fine.
He needs to take his dad around like it is like a security blanket.
I know. And me too, really by the way. Me too.
Yeah.
Alexis and Julius are together and she's like, it's time. And then we see them kind of making out. And then we see Ashley saying like, yeah, I mean, if he's fucking around with somebody else, he's going to be busted. And we see her knocking on a door and then we see Alexis and Julius in the bed. But I don't think it's the same.
No.
I think they're tricking us.
Probably not.
But yeah. Wouldn't it be like Julius to have the two women in the same hotel and just go back and forth?
Yeah, he seems that kind of dumb.
That kind of dumb.
Yeah, he really does.
Well, that is the end of our episode, y'all. And we did it. We blew through it, but we did it. There's so many people on this freaking show.
And we still got another couple we got to meet.
Yeah, we still haven't met that white girl that gets out of prison and that dumb white guy.
And she's going to destroy his whole life.
Yeah, she's going to. Yeah. It's we've seen it before. We know of which.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Keisha, tell everybody what's going on over there on the Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Well, you guys did not get a show this week.
Because you were sick of the dog.
I made a post telling y'all about it. So everything I was supposed to talk about, plus, so we're going to talk about the new Good American Family show.
Okay, but that is going to be, when this comes out on Monday, your episode is going to be coming out.
Yes.
But last week you didn't have an episode. Yeah, you were sick.
Jay, Pamela. And then we're going to talk about, Louis and Teresa's tax issues.
Oh, Lord.
And then we also got to talk about why the fuck Jen Aiden is selling things on TikTok Live.
Because she's being kicked off the Real Housewives of New Jersey for being mean and a Jersey Mike's. That's why.
And so there's a rumor that there's some bankruptcy going on, which after I saw that, I was like, maybe there's some truth to that.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. You can't live like that. And I don't think all her shit is real. I think her brother's a jeweler and makes a lot of that.
I think so too.
But still, the way they live, and they've got 5 kids. I mean,
it's. I just don't feel like Bill Aiden is making that much money as a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, and I don't think she was contributing that much as a housewife.
But
we could be wrong. We don't know.
We've been wrong before, but we've also been right a lot too.
Everybody, this week you'll have this episode with Keisha. Tomorrow you'll have will normally be with Keisha. Kimberly. I got too many K's in my mind. Kimberly for 90 Day Fiance. The Baldwins will also be on Pink Shade Prime. And of course, Friday will be also Pink Shade Prime will be with Amy for 90 Day Last Resort. But on Thursday this week, guys, I will have episodes 2 and 3 of the Baldwins will be up instead of my normal Thursday because I'll be flying back from Chicago for the conference. So you guys, if you think you don't know if you're going to like the Baldwins, just go ahead. You're going to have a couple episodes over there. You can listen and then subscribe to Pink Shade Prime and get the rest of it because we love it. We love it.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good. And that's it, everybody. And Keisha, I will talk to you next week, and I'm glad you feel better.
Bye. Thank you.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.